Now, what inspired me most about the composer Jonathan Leshnoff writing a new work for the 25th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing was the fact that the composer himself wrote already 4 symphonies, and the 4th symphony actually was for that amazing group, the Violins of Hope, a collection of instruments that were found in different kind of attics and turned out to be from Holocaust survivors. So there are roughly 32 instruments that are over 75, 80 years old and helped people during the time survive. Now, Jonathan Leshnoff wrote an extremely emotional work, very beautiful. And when I heard that, I was saying to myself, that's the man that we want to commission for our event. So this is how the composer's choice happened. The process to work with a living composer is very exciting, first of all, because one cannot go back in time and talk with Beethoven or Mozart. So here now, it was fun to say to Jonathan, well, the event happened 25 years ago, it was horrific, but we would like to find music now that starts in a way in the drama but then really reaches up to heaven, reaches to a place of, well, maybe healing, somewhere that unifies and unites the city in a beautiful way. And then he took those words and said, okay, let's see where this leads me. And he came up with this amazing way of ending the piece, and I won't mention what he did. But so it's unique to be able to work with a living composer and have a little back and forth, a creative back and forth. So the work that Jonathan Leshnoff created is roughly 20 minutes long, 21 minutes long. It's one movement, but in different sections. It is an extremely exciting beginning, very fast, a little bit based on not minimalism, but there's something to it of a driven, very energetic, forward-going motion that at least pulls me right in. And after 3-4 minutes, it slows down, and there is this beautiful slow part where it kind of sinks in and you kind of are left with your own memories almost, and a little snippet of a melody is forming, an idea. It's like a plant growing and you don't quite know yet what, oh, this sounds familiar, do I know that melody? And then it goes back to the driven. It's like, whoa, and he pulls you along, and then you have off and on again snippets of this melody come in the brass and forming almost to a full grown idea or plant or flower. And I won't mention the melody because then towards the 16 minutes in, suddenly the full chorus is starting to sing. And everybody's like, yes, it's a classic. It's unifying. So, and then it goes back and forth a little bit with this full chorus in full power also, singing and slowly subsiding in this peaceful way. And it ends very quiet and resolved. And that's those 21 minutes. And I'm really excited. Now, the first half of the program starts with Johann Sebastian Bach, first of all, like rooted in this Baroque but romanticized tradition of Stokowski, the famous conductor who is featured in Fantasia, Walt Disney's Fantasia. He wrote a full orchestra, a romanticized version of Bach's Prelude and Fugue in C minor. 15 minutes long, and there's a sense of, there's a sense of spirituality, let's say, come in, and deep, little bit melancholic colors. That's where we're starting the whole evening. And then from there, we go to Chopin's Piano Concerto, and we have a very famous pianist, Angela Cheng. She's Canadian, has a huge career. And I personally, when I was like in my early 20s, I remember I was in love with this piano concerto, to the point, there were several of those pieces where we were laying with my friends on the floor and we're just listening to the Chopin Second Piano Concerto. So I'm really excited to bring this here. It's a piece of heaven for me. It's like Mozart. It's a romantic Mozart, where it is so subtly played, and the piano voice is just almost sounds improvisation, but so pure, right? And that's Chopin, and she is a master in that. It's in the F minor key, so there is still something melancholic that continues that thread in the first half. And then after intermission, we're kind of transcending. We're starting with the Canadian composer Matthew Patton, where over 360 voices will walk in and be on the stage with little electric candles humming and creating that total sense of unity in the auditorium. Everything starts in complete darkness, and then from there it slowly comes, the light opens up, and again ends very quiet. And from there then we go into the Leshnoff, which starts in an explosion, very driven, very organic, but energetic, and then ends with this famous tune that I won't mention yet, with a full chorus. So it's really a journey from a place of beautiful melancholy going upwards to joy and hope and resolve. Join us Saturday, February 1st at the Civic Center, where we are going to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing in a way where the orchestra, choir, and everybody in the audience is wearing white and transcend to hope and healing.